Hey guys, thank you for joining us for Pro Value Media's Market Like a Pro series. My name is Rick, your digital and print marketing partner. Today we have somebody that can help you elevate your company with custom branded signage for your restaurant interior, exterior, as well as your vehicles. Now, Quarter Mile Graphics has been helping businesses grow since 2002. They pride themselves with the best customer service, workmanship, and to do whatever it takes to meet the client's needs in the most efficient way possible without sacrificing any quality. Now, today's guest is Mary de Silva from Quarter Mile. Mary, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing today?
We're doing good, thank you. How about yourself?
Good, good. Staying busy. I know right now you guys are staying busy pretty much trying to keep up with all the orders that you guys need to be putting out for the COVID-19 situation.
Of course, yes. We're trying to help all the local businesses try to help them improve and help them with any signage, any rules that they have to put in their restaurant so they can wash their hands properly, have signage for customers not to go in and stuff like that.
That's awesome. And one thing I noticed that you guys have started doing is pretty much you guys started putting out a lot of different type of products out there, or should I say custom printing solutions that you guys are offering for restaurants and businesses alike. But in this case, we're going to focus a little bit more on restaurants. And one of the things that we were talking about earlier before was talking about your floor graphics. Now your floor graphics, one of the things that I understand are pretty much, they're one of the simplest and easiest things to do. And they're great because you get to, number one, encourage that social distancing that everyone's trying to do. But number two, you can have something custom with your logo on it that looks a little more better than just a regular piece of paper. What do you guys have to use? I mean, or what do you guys use for the floor graphics? What is it? Can you tell me about that?
Well, these floor graphics, since we're trying to go ahead and help businesses keep the social distancing and help them tell their customers that pretty much where to stand. So these are a type of sticker that you can put on the floor, and they're anti-slip, so nobody will slip on them, and pretty much they're easy to put on and easy to remove. Like you mentioned before, we have done several for certain clients that want them very customized with their logo, their colors. That way it looks more uniform to their company. And they are trying to go ahead and encourage everybody here in Laredo to keep their social distancing and keeping it where we're still operating, but we're following the rules.
And that's super important now. That I know I walked into a couple of places and they don't have those type of things in place, and it's important to have those things. And even though the rules are tightening up right now, where people can't go into certain places, I know that these type of graphics, social distancing is going to be going way beyond this 2-3 week rule. So it's super important to, I guess, to keep encouraging it after this new restrictions get lifted, just to keep encouraging it, because I think it's going to be important to again, keep practicing social distancing. So that's awesome that you guys can do that. So one thing I noticed that when I stopped by your place last week, when I was looking at these graphics, is that they're really, really simple to use. And you guys can pretty much make them any size, right? I mean, they don't have to be a circle or square. I mean, it can be anything custom. I saw a couple of octagons that you guys did look pretty nice. They're just very, very different. That, it's just, you're better than your average shape, I guess you can say. But from my understanding, these are things that you guys can turn out in pretty much one business day, right? Like pretty much same day?
Correct. A lot of clients, since they need them right now in the situation really, really fast. So we do different shapes, any shape that you want, and we go ahead and print them pretty much the same day, as long as we can get the approvals early during the day.
Excellent, excellent. And so one of your most popular items that you guys do, that you guys can pretty much do all day long, is banners. Is that correct? So banners, these are great for signage outside, especially for your like drive-through open signs. And more than anything, like in this example that we're showing right here that you guys did for Dos Marias, one of your clients, is they had a family platter special that they wanted to announce, not just a drive-through open, but right now we notice that restaurants are doing special menus. They have special menus out there so that it's just easier for everyone to order, and also larger portions. So this right here was a pretty good example of what they're doing to do that. What else can you tell me about these banners that you guys are doing for them, like to reinforce them and things like that?
Well, a lot of businesses, as you said right now, Greg, they want to go ahead and show the community that they're helping out as much as possible. And a lot of people have kids, and Of course, it takes more people, like bigger quantities, and you don't want to spend that much money since it's very tight right now. And pretty much they're offering different kind of platters. They're offering, making sure that you know that they're open. A lot of customers are pretty much, like Dos Marias is doing specials where it's like a family bundle. That way you can just order it and pick it up and you have everybody ready to eat.
And these banners, you can pretty much put them almost anywhere. I mean, you can use a standing structure or something like that. One of the things that I do notice that you guys do, and I know it might be a little geeky or a technical thing, but I noticed that you guys actually tape back the banners, the edges, to reinforce those edges so they last longer. That's something that I know most companies out there, you know, I see the banners are all torn up on the outside of, sorry, after like a week or two with high winds, but you guys take that extra time to strap that to reinforce those edges. Is that correct?
Yes, we go ahead and either weld the edges all together, or we go ahead and put tape depending on what you're going to use it for. And pretty much we always recommend you guys put them where it's a flat surface. In case wind is going to go through them, we always recommend that either you do a couple of slits in the banner where it won't affect your artwork, and that way the wind can go through and your banner can last longer. Even though a lot of people are using these types of banners as temporary, we always tell our clients that even though it's temporary, you can always put it away, and if you're going to use it later, you already have it there. So we want to make sure you spend the money, but you spend it right with a product that's going to last you a long while.
And that's so true, because I've seen that happen a lot, where customers think that it's a one-day thing, but the reality is that this banner can be rolled up, like you said. You know, if you store it correctly, this will last you for a long, long time, that you can use it later on for different things, whatever it may be. You'll be surprised, and you won't have to spend that money again later on. So that's a really good pro tip you guys offer there about, you know, taking care of that banner, if you, even though it is maybe temporary. So that's awesome. Well, let me ask you this. The banners right now, they're high quality, so you're not going to get something that's going to be fading away. More or less, what is the lifespan of one of these things? I know that they can be temporary, but again, we talked about it being more permanent. What type of lifespan do you guys give these type of banners?
So pretty much the lifespan we give them is anywhere between 2 to 3 years if you take care of them correctly, of course, because of the sun and other qualities that pretty much will affect them. They will start fading away little by little. But we always tell our clients lighter colors will fade away faster than darker colors. And if the sun's not hitting them too much, or if you're putting it on a surface where it's completely flat and it's not flapping around, they tend to last you 4 or 5 years. It just depends on how you use them. So I have some clients that do it, and it's only for like certain times of the year, or they put them with different specials, and every so often that they put out that special, they go ahead and bring out those banners, and I've seen them last for 6 years. It just, like I said, it just depends on what they use them for.
So one of your other more popular items that you guys sell a lot of are the Curbside signs. I mean, not only just banners, but also Curbside signs. Many people know these things as the political signs or the yard signs, that material, that corrugated plastic that people do, you know, this right here, I like these because they're awesome. That they're better than banners because they're freestanding. What else can you add to me about these type of Curbside signs that you guys are using right now for restaurants?
So pretty much these are very popular because a lot of people like to do them in very custom, and you can cut them in any shape. You can use them in any way possible. And like you said, the good thing about these, they're a more rigid material, so you can just keep them outside and standing up, compared to a banner that's a little bit more flimsy. A lot of clients prefer these because they will go ahead and use them like in the picture as advertising, and make people's eyes attention and catch attention, and pretty much use them anywhere, since they're very, very light and they're very, very economical. So clients can go ahead and use them for different reasons. Some people use them for menus, some people use them for advertisings. It just depends on what you need at that point in time.
Yeah, and I actually like that because I noticed that these Core Plus signs, the way this company is using it, or this restaurant is using it, they have some directional signs. And then, like you said, they have a menu on there. And we're talking again about that temporary menu that you guys might be needing. You know, you don't want a piece of paper. You want something that's going to be nice, bright, and very visible with all the prices and the items that you guys are selling. So in this case, you know, when someone's driving up, this customer has their own drive-through, but again, they needed a very, very quick and quick option to show the new menu items, and they did a really, really good job of showing how that would work in this picture that you guys are looking at.
Correct.
So apart from the Core Plus signs, you also offer window signage. Now that window signage, I know that that category can be very, very broad. There's a bunch of different things that you guys offer for window signage, but you have things like static clings, and I know you guys have regular vinyl, and of course, one of our favorites that we have outside is the perforated windows that you guys can use, which, you know, serves as two purposes. Number one is branding, and number two also as a privacy privacy, and also blocking the sun as well. That's where I've noticed that does pretty well. What else can you guys tell me about your window signage that you guys do?
Well, we always try to help our clients as best as possible, and we go with them, and when they want to go ahead and cover up some windows, we go ahead and talk to them exactly kind of what they want to do. Since you said the perforated, that material serves as several purposes. You can brand on them, you can go ahead and it helps you with the sun, but some clients don't want nothing to pass through, because on the perforated at night, will be a little bit more of a see-through thing compared to a regular vinyl, which is pretty much a blackout completely. So some clients say, you know what, we're not gonna use these windows, we just want it for branding, and we don't care if nothing comes in or out. And I'm like, well, we go ahead and recommend more the regular vinyl. And you have those clients that, of course, as right now, that it's something temporary, they don't wanna leave no glue behind on their windows, so they go ahead and go with the static clean, which would also help as promotional items, and that could also help as just pretty much as in this time where you want to go ahead and promote that you're doing curbside, you're going ahead and you're still open, and that way people can go ahead and remember their social distancing, that we're not going in on the restaurants, and pretty much it's where we have a material for every need that you might have.
And that's awesome. I really love the static clings, the one to the left everyone's looking at. I love those, and those are perfect for people who have very, very big windows. But like Mary said, you know, you don't want something that's going to be permanent. You don't want to block your showroom either, but you want something that's going to shine through. And these static clings, it's like a very, very a unique plastic material that allows you to slap it back on and slap it off without having to worry about that residue that you might have to worry. And I like that because it's very, well, it's repositionable. Is that correct?
Yes, it's pretty much, it just depends how you take care of it, but if you go ahead and remove it from one window and then go ahead and put it in a different window, you can change it after a certain amount of time. Of course, it's gonna stop sticking, but it will give you a good lasting point.
That's great, awesome. Cool, so now let's talk about your vehicle signage. Your vehicle signage, now there's so many different options out there. One of the things that I've noticed that a lot of restaurants have had to pivot is people that have their dining room area that's now closed off. Now they have to, you know, turn into a delivery service, and people are delivering. Some people have turned their waiters into delivery drivers, and because of that, you know, you're dropping off those stuff, and that's fine to use those cards, but some I guess cost-effective option is using magnets, like when you guys see on the right-hand side, that you can pretty much slap onto any vehicle that can make it look temporary, and still, as you're making your rounds, making your deliveries, you can see those magnets on there, as opposed to just like, you know, the more permanent stuff, which is like the decals or a full wrap. What can you tell me about your vehicle signage?
So pretty much, like you said, we do have different options, and one of the options is very popular right now is a delivery, and we go ahead and recommend that we put some graphics, and since they're personal vehicles of the employees, of course, they don't want to have something permanent. So that's why we offer those magnets. That way they can just slap them on there and then they're delivering. And it serves as a two-way purpose, because as you're driving down Laredo, people are seeing them and they're like, oh, look, they're open and they're delivering, and you can get their number. Compared to some clients, so you know what, it's something a little bit more permanent. We always have this delivery car. So they want to go ahead and do something not too expensive, but to understand and to make sure that they are advertising, and it's something like you said, an example of the other delivery cars, which is pretty much the decals. And you have those clients that really, really want to go and want to promote more their business, and they go ahead and go with either a full wrap or a partial wrap, but that's because they're keeping it as a steady thing.
Right, right. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because as far as the full wraps, because I know at certain times the misconception for wraps can be that they can be very, very expensive. And I know you guys have several different options when it comes to the full vehicle wraps. You know, you don't have to wrap the whole vehicle. You can do a partial wrap, maybe just the windows and things like that. And that way you still have that branded vehicle, but you don't have to, spend as much as you might think, so that's that common misconception that I encourage anybody out there, that when you're talking about a wrap, it does not have to be the full vehicle. It can just be a partial wrap, that again, just try to save some money on wherever you can. And that would be one way to do it without having to sacrifice any quality. So that's something I encourage anybody to do. Just think about doing a partial wrap versus a full. Now, way before everything, I guess this COVID-19 situation started happening, I know you guys were also doing curbside signage, pretty much those like, I want to say, I'm not sure you want to call these things, but I know you're gonna be best to tell me about these. But these are great. These curbside signs, reserved for parking only and order pickups. This is a more permanent solution for people that already have this type of this type of setup. What can you tell me about these type of curbside signs?
Yes, pretty much some restaurants do offer, since before right now, like you said, the parkings, and they want to go ahead and say, you know what, these are the parkings for our clients. So they have some signs that are a little bit more permanent. And like an example there for the Scratch and La Finca, they have it there that way clients know that that's where they're going to park, even though they've had them way before the whole pandemic is happening. That way, when you order and you need to go ahead and you just park there on their spot, and pretty much they'll take your food out and you're ready to go, compared to getting down and picking it up yourself. Now, right now we are offering some special promotions on different restaurants who do need some signage of this type, and pretty much they can go ahead and either put it on a pole or they can put it directly on a wall, depending on what they have and the space they have available. We go ahead and recommend this item, which is not too expensive, but it will last you for a long time.
Yes, and I've noticed them, and where I've seen them, where people can maybe most identify as maybe where people have gone to to a Chick-fil-A, where the drive-through is there and they have that station 1 and station 2, or even to a Chili's or Applebee's curbside pickup. Now, this material, like you mentioned, it's more permanent, and obviously we're talking about metal here. Is that correct?
Yes, it is a composite aluminum, so pretty much it's a material that will last you, I want to say maybe 6-7 years.
Wow.
It just depends on the colors. So it's an investment that you'll do, but it will work out in the long run, especially if you do continue to do those curbside things and you do want to go ahead and continue that type of business. You already have it there, so you already know where you can tell your clients, oh, go ahead and go to curbside 1 or go to curbside 2, and that way people can just take out your food.
I agree. And one thing that you mentioned right now that I think is super important is that if for restaurants out there, if you're going to continue doing this, and I know that things are going to change dramatically, even more, or are going to stay changed, they're going to say, after this pandemic, because we will get through it. But once it's done, I know that things are going to be different then, and people who have that new drive-through capability or delivery service or curbside service, may be another option for them to continue doing it, so that's something that, again, this is something a little more permanent. It's not as expensive, but still it looks really, really nice. I mean, you're talking about material that looks like it's made out of those traffic signs, so it's not like some little flimsy aluminum that's going to bend over. I mean, you're talking about, this is the same material that you use stop signs out of. Is that correct?
It's a very similar material that you use in stop signs. And like you said, it will last you for a very, very long time. And especially we do them customized to whatever that client needs. Some clients want to put, since they have an icon, they want to go ahead and make it in the shape of their icon, or make it in a rectangle or a square or a circle. So hexagons, octagons, just pretty much depending on what you're going to use it for, we can go ahead and help you. Some companies do buy them as parking signs or as stop signs. That way clients know where to stop, where to park, and pretty much this material has multi-use, so you can use it at very, very different items or very, very different ways on using it.
That's awesome. Okay. So in addition to everything we just mentioned, we also have a bunch of little extras that you guys are also doing, which are pretty neat. I mean, we have things like pole banners and those signicades, and of course, because of the drive-through and new curbside pickup, you know, you want to keep not only your staff under a nice little cool roof, because it will get hot eventually. You guys are also offering these canopies that roll out that can also be custom branded. So that's pretty neat. What other items that you guys are mentioning, or what else can you tell me about these?
So pretty much like you said, yes, right now, it is a lot of buying here and buying there, but all these materials that you will purchase do have a long lifespan, and pretty much you will be able to use them at certain times with different things. Compared to, example, the signicates, those, it is a hard plastic that you can put outside, and that way people can know you're open. But if you ever want to change the design that you have on it, you can simply take it off and put a brand new one. We do offer different materials that you can go ahead and put on there. That way you can use it with different items at different points in time of the year. And pretty much some people have those hanging signs that you want to keep there for something more permanent, especially when you have your little to go outside, or you have those people who want to stay there, and pretty much you can hang it off your roof and you can keep it there for a very, very long time. And those people who want to continue and keep out like a little, like a curbside thing, and people taking orders outside, you can go ahead and go with a canopy and custom print it to your design with different colors and different everything, to go ahead and help your employees keep in a cool shade, especially in the hot summer months.
So another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is that not only do you guys just offer stuff for restaurants, but I mean, you guys can pretty much, you guys have an amazing crew and also amazing equipment that you guys can pretty much do anything. And I noticed that, I mean, the stuff that you guys do, the quality that you guys put in, the care that you guys put into your products and the solutions that you guys offer, it's pretty much, I almost want to say it's unmatched, to be honest with you. I noticed that you guys have equipment that will custom route, and for everyone doesn't know what that means, is pretty much do any custom shape with a special machine. You're not hand cutting it, so you're not going to expect any rough ridges or anything like that. Everything will be nice and smooth, and that's something that's super, super important when you're looking at branding and any type of signage and things like that. So that's really, really awesome that you guys can do that.
Correct. So we want to go ahead and give our clients 100% of our time. We go ahead and think everybody is as important, and pretty much we go ahead and help you guys with any needs you might have, and we recommend you the best thing possible. And like you said, we take care of every client, and we pretty much want you to do it right the first time and not have to pay 2-3 times to go ahead and do the same thing.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. That's something super important. There's a lot of people that sometimes, obviously, cost is always an issue. As any business owner or manager went low, that you're always looking for a better deal at cost. And there are some things that you can save on, but I will mention this, that there are some things you do not want to skimp on, and quality on your company brand. That's something that you don't want to do, because again, these colors can wash out and if you're not using the right material. And one thing I love about you guys is your customer service, that when someone calls you guys and asks for a certain material, you know, to you guys, a banner is not just a banner. You guys want to know what you guys are going to use it for, where it's going to go. And the reason why you guys take that care to ask those questions is because you know these products best, and you want to make sure that it lasts that you want to make sure that it lasts as long as it should be, for the whole life of it. You're not just trying to put something out there or sell anything. You want to make sure that this is the right product for them that's going to last a long time and make them look good. So that's something that I really like about you guys, that you guys take that extra step and care for doing that. That's awesome.
Correct.
In addition to doing all those things, I mean, I know you guys, again, you guys can pretty much do anything when it comes to printing from signs, banners, vehicle wraps, window signage. I know you also started doing lit signs recently, as we were looking earlier. So even those lit signs is something that you guys can do again, that's a lot more permanent, but still, that's something that you guys are also offering. What else do you guys do that you guys can tell me about what you guys do?
So pretty much we can go ahead and help any business grow, and pretty much we like to go ahead and give them that branding image that they need. And we offer anything that you might think, any idea you might have, we make it happen. We can do something as simple as a sticker to go ahead and do as a custom display for your office to showcase your items that you need. We do assign you a special designer, and they will work with you 100% until you like what you get, and we'll go ahead and make it happen.
That's true. And that's something that we didn't even mention. I know you guys have your own designers, so people don't have to worry about designs or anything like that. Pretty much, if you have a logo, you can give it to them, and from there, basically, you guys take it from there. You give them your concept, and your designers will go ahead and roll that out for everybody and give you a proof that you need before printing out anything, of course. And that's super important to know that that every product that you guys put out is going to have that high quality resolution that you guys need. So that's really neat. So Ms. Mary, I also wanted to ask you, if somebody wanted to come out and reach out to you guys, what's the best number and what's the best process to get a hold of you guys, especially right now that this situation with COVID-19 is going on? What is it that you guys can do? I mean, are you guys offering anything where you guys can go over there? What kind of solutions do you guys offer when it comes to dealing this type of scenario?
So a lot of clients, through email, they're communicating. Some people give us a call here at the office. We are open from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. And of course, you could always reach us also on the weekends through an email, or some clients have our personal cell phones and they give us a call, especially if they need something right away, and we make it happen.
That's awesome. And I know I have your personal cell phone number, so I know when I need something, I call you all the time. So thank you for that again, for answering my phone calls on the weekend. That's really neat. But for all the other guys that are looking, for everyone else that is joining us out there, the number to call Quarter Mile Graphics is 722-7690, and they're located behind the arena at 6420 Polaris Drive, 78041. Again, that's 722-7690. And again, another place that I know that you can find you is also on Facebook. You guys are also on Facebook and on Instagram, and it shows a bunch of little quick videos and stuff that you guys are doing on social media for different clients. So that's pretty awesome. Again, thank you, Mary, for your time. I know you guys are really, really busy trying to fulfill those customer orders. We'll be talking to you guys soon.
Thank you very much for having us here, and let us know in case anybody needs anything.
We will do. Have a good one.
Likewise. Bye-bye.